Okay. Not. I don't know what happened last time, but we back. Yeah. Sure. New game. I don't know what this game's about, but I just saw that in a taxi, and that's about it. Choose the investigation. Surprise! If the game will randomly pick an unsolved investigation. Game will randomly pick an investigation, no matter if solved or unsolved. Well, let's do a. Well, are they like? Do they have difficulties? Fuck it. Surprise me. Choose a. Oh, there's the difficulties. Money will be tighter. The investigation will be harder to solve. Every action will cost more time for more challenging experience. The way Night Call was designed. Okay, the balance. We'll do balance. Huh? Huh? We'll do balanced. So yeah, Night Call. This is a different game. This is not Prey anymore. We did Prey. I'm gonna stop talking now. I always do this. I always forget my water. Doctor! Here. Sir, can you hear me, or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Louder. And now? Is this okay? Yes, thank you. She's. Hey, let me breath. Sir, you just went 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were a victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris? You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The one the media are calling the Sandman shot you before escaping. You were deprived of oxygen for several minutes, and we chose to put you in an induced. Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in your ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... Oh, I'm sorry. Did they catch the Sandman? You nod. No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second, a very awkward second. She hesitates. Ding dong. Okay. My immersion. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. You're currently the only one of the Sandman victims who is still alive. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. He's... Another female voice joins in. A strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make out what is she saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realize that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger, a feeling you know all too well. ... Days go by. A month later. 9-1. Okay. Oh, what the fuck?
Well, look. I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is.
You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack.
Are you listening to me?
You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking.
Sometimes I wonder what goes on in your head. You always seem so far away.
I'm listening.
Okay.
He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head.
You know, I'm worried about you, don't you?
I know.
You're like a son to me, you know.
I know. And you know, he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again.
When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me.
His hands flutter in the air.
Though none of them are any match for you.
He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note.
Do you want me to go over everything again?
He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Yeah, good idea.
Right then. Well, first, the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around you, if there's no one else around, you have to go and pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business.
No problem.
The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive.
He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all.
When your shift is over, we do the numbers and...
His voice trails off as if he's searching for the right words.
And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. All right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours.
He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab.
Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job.
What's the matter? Your boss speaks quiet for a while as if he's hesitant to speak, and then,
I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back for you.
We?
Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost.
He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Good night.
Same to you, and good luck.
You'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously.
Excuse me, I still got phlegm.
You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack, despite it all. Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with my bitrate? Wait, uno momento. Okay, nothing. Nothing's the matter. Despite it all. Ote! Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Stop playing. Ooh, pick up this lady.
Hey, lady. It was nice to know ya. But I gotta move on.
Sure. Your next passenger is alone and waiting for you on the sidewalk. She gets in the cab and whispers,
Hello.
She has no handbag or suitcase, just a small handmade sign with an Indian name printed on it. I can't even say, I don't know what voice it.
Child, the girl, please.
She is young with a soft and silent accent. Her face shows no emotion. Her fingers play with the small gold chain around her neck. It's the only piece of jewelry she has on. You drive, glancing back at her from time to time. Her head seems to be elsewhere. Everything all right, miss? She nods her head gently, cracking a tiny smile. It's really early. I don't know if that's her voice. I don't fucking know. I forget what it is because I laugh. The first place to come in are the worst. Everyone is exhausted and half asleep.
Yes, exactly. And
she sighs. I must confess, I don't really want to go there. A tiny smile lights up her face for a split second before disappearing. Ah, family? My future husband. Well, future, I've never even met him. Her accent suddenly becomes strong. I can't do accents. You know that habit. Well, just before confiding in you, passengers tend to relax into their natural accent. I'm sure he's a great guy, as they say here. Sadness appears in her voice. But I don't know him at all. My parents chose him. It's crazy, isn't it? Are you shocked? Yes. A sad smile washes briefly over her face. It's tradition, or at least it used to be. My parents are a bit old school, even by current standards in India. I choose to study here and not in England like my sisters. She flashes a smile. I fell in love with parents and decided to stay. I almost never go home. Actually, this is home now. Anyway, my parents insist I meet him. He decided to make the trip, saying he had a meeting as a pretext. It's hard to hold it against him. It's understandable from their perspective. I mean, it worked for them, right? You sense something bubbling up. Anger before she freezes. Some people refuse to let their emotions out. She slowly regains control of her body. What day trips would you recommend outside Paris? Nearby? Oh, that was me. Oh shit. She nods. How do you Versailles, of course. It's really beautiful. Definitely worth it. Her face lights up. Oh yeah, perfect. I'm sure he'll like it. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm trying to say that. The airport is not much further. Something about the young woman makes you feel uncomfortable. She looks as if she's about to scream, but is holding it in. Time passes and silence fills the cab. Which terminal? The question startles her. Terminal C. 2C, I think. It's supposed to be a nice day out, too. A smile crosses her face, then quickly disappears.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you.
You park the car in front of Terminal 2C. The passenger grabs her sign and exits the cab. She pauses for a second as if she were about to say something. Then she disappears.
Hey, got somebody. I got a tip. Oh shit, I got a tip. Look at that. Ooh.
This person, he looks angry. But he's close, so might as well pick him up. You notice a huge dog on the sidewalk. No leash, no owner. It looks like a bear. What the fuck?
What? Okay.
I missed the last train. I'm going to St. St. Owen. You pull up to the sidewalk to pick up the passenger who ordered a cab. You can just make him out. I thought I said you could just make out. Surrounded by 5 or 6 cops, and also for that familiar seat. I got fleb. Every so often, the low ominous tones of an officer's voice makes it to your ear. A circle of cops break up. You see your passenger. He heads the elevator to the cab and gets it. He slams the door and lets rip.
Motherfucking cop.
he gives you his address and start the car. God damn it. The passenger stares out the window at the passing road as if it's to calm himself. You take a quick look in the rearview mirror. Everything all right?
Yeah, sure. They're afraid to lay a finger on us nowadays. Don't want to get blown up.
An ironic half smile appears on his face that immediately disappears. He knows a bad joke when he hears one.
What a fucking pain in the ass. Can't go out without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of a bitches. If you're not wearing a goddamn beret, if you happen to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you're a fucking hood.
He smirks mildly, then raises his voice an octave.
Yeah, oh, what is octave? Is that high? Y'all papers, please.
He sighs, his voice back to normal.
Yeah, sure. Shove your aunt's cock up your friggin' ass, buddy.
Always the same old thing, isn't it? Pastor looks at you and lets out a bitter laugh.
You can say that again. Even the Arabs treat us like shit when they're wearing a uniform.
A slow smile spreads over his face.
And you know what's worse?
He pulls up a paperback out of his jacket. The Count of Monte Cristo. Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't believe it was my book.
He returns it to his pocket right away. For a second, you wonder if you imagined it.
The first thing they asked me was where I had stolen it. You know, like there was no way I could own a book. Then the bastards took the book and flipped through it every single page to make sure I wasn't hiding anything like hash or some other shit.
He flinches. Something in his features breaks. A crack has appeared. You try not to show it, but you see what's going on. You can't help it. The inner struggle. The humiliation. Sense of shame.
It's just a book.
Do you like it? He looks up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a revenge story, like a Hollywood movies we download so we don't have to pay for a ticket, except that it takes place 200 years ago. And yeah, it's good. It really sucks what happens to the hero guy, and he spends the whole book planning his revenge big time. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
He catches your eye in the rearview mirror. He realizes he's not all worked up anymore.
It's my girlfriend who gave it to me.
So, what else did she recommend?
Well, believe me, man, it was pretty rough at first. First, she got me to read this book, Pride and something or other, some English book. Pride and Prejudice? Oh, that's me. Shit. Yeah, that's it. You read it too?
I saw the movie a long time ago.
Pause. they made a movie? Shit, I would have watched it. I didn't get through the whole thing, but she didn't mind. After she got me to read something by Balzac, and after The Count of Monte Cristo, she really wants me to read this book. He rolls his eyes. By some Belgian woman, I think. You shrug. Who my girlfriend says wrote a book about this Roman Empire and his boyfriend. Oh, Emperor and his boyfriend. And it's really amazing. He laughs to himself. I better not get caught by the cops with that one in my pocket. Or by my friends, for that matter. He looks up, his eyes shining. She forced me a little, and then I realized that Monte Cristo, he's one of us. I mean, his story is like what goes on today. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are these texts, rap lyrics that she really likes. You should see her put on a show and all, but the truth is she actually likes it. It's the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want to try it. And that was it, man. I was on my way. He looks down. Something seems to be bothering him. The only thing is, he hesitates. My girlfriend, she's cop. Pretty weird, huh? She's 37. She gets me to read books for rich people, and she works for the local police. He gestures vaguely towards some place behind him. I was just at her place now. Man, she's one hell of a woman. She drives me crazy. She's so... He doesn't finish his sentence. You pull up at the address, give it by your fare. He lets out a sigh. You know, man, I don't know why the hell I just told you all of that. No worries. It must be a real bummer, all these guys telling you their life stories. Passenger passes you the money for the ride. I have to go. I'll punch you in early tomorrow. Pauses, eyeing the time of the radio's LCD display. Or later on, I should say. A moment later, he vanishes into the night. Motherfucker, he gave me what, 2 cents? He gave me 2 cents as a tip? What the fuck? Oh, what? The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? Oh shit, I was supposed to do it. For a second you freeze. One of the cops on the Sandman's case. She grins at you, her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. What voice should she have? Wait, hold on.
It's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you, something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us.
I didn't lie. She whistles to cut you off. Okay.
Hey, I'm talking.
She has a cold sneer on her face.
I'm going to be frank with you.
She leans over for you.
You're not the Sandman. Not the right profile.
She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away.
Like you have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch.
She stares at you.
But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he'd had a crush on you.
She smirks.
No. I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17.
An icy chill fills your gut.
And for murder too.
You open your mouth but nothing comes out.
Since you got out, you've kept a low profile. But you're lying about your name and your address. I checked.
It's normal, you'd say. Oh shit, wait.
It's normal, you'd say, if they get word of your time served. No loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning no second chance at life.
Her
voice becomes softer, almost warm.
uh, I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me.
She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing.
My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with evidence. Actually knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit...
She makes a gagging noise.
Bleh. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around.
I'm not a cop.
She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman, you're just here to get more information.
She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever.
Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info.
She takes on a what the fuck? Like the tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time.
Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or be the problem, my friend, or whatever.
She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions.
If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who.
Her smile is biting.
That reminds me. She know you've done time?
You shake your head. She snickers.
Oh, my little dirtbag. You covered your tracks well.
What if I refuse?
If you refuse? Simple. I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris, your picture with your name on it, your real name. Anyone close to you will have their place to search. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway?
You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at.
Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually.
I'm nothing like that terrorist. She smiles.
Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms.
You have no right.
I know we have no right.
She takes a serious tone, businesslike.
I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case. You got me. And neither can you, right?
Nope.
Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you could just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides, you're in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him.
She furrows her brow.
Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects.
She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes.
Alright, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me.
You glare at her. Say nothing. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. The conversation never happens.
I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Obviously, not a word.
The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut.
Fucking bitch!
You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running, radio on, radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift.
Okay. 4 clues discovered. Available in your room. Oh boy. I'm so good at voices, aren't I? Oh, what the fuck? Oh. It's like I'm streaming at 480p and this video looks like 480p, so it's like perfect quality. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio. Outside the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of a taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busted gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephew. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. Steps in the hallway, they stop in front of your door, then move away. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Autopsy, okay. Hold to investigate. Oh, what? I discovered some clues. Okay, I thought it was gonna like give me the clues or some shit. Apparently, I've discovered them. Oh, there we go. Okay, this lady, an ex-partner of Group Diamant, recently fired from the board, good physical state, lost her dad a year ago, did her military service in Israel, knows how to handle a gun, argument, anger management issues, sold it a cop a few months ago. Here in Lester Company, grandson died. What? Suspects intel. Oh, him. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, so this dude. Okay, let's just look at all the people. Camille and Antoine? Young, fit, good physical state. Physical? Anger management issues. Attacked a cop the day of the first killing. Never arrested. Blurry past. Lives at a studio owned by her family and the group Diamant. CEO of Group Diamant. Owner of the Albatross building. Excellent physical state. Has been difficult to investigate. Have friends in high places. Described as a shark by rivals and friends. Rootless and ready for anything. Father was linked to the Corsican Mafia. Corsican Mafia. Christopher. Oh shit, I didn't even see her name. Anita. Christoph. Last name. A young drifter. Drop out of school. Okay. Average physical state. Arrested but always released. Minor at the time. Reasons unknown. No known address in Paris. Suspected to steal unlocked cars. Possible use of drugs. Alexandre? I don't know. Alex. Retired mailman. Good physical state despite his alcoholism. Lost his grandson in the Albatross fire a few months ago. Was one of the more vocal protesters after the Albatross fire. Attacked Anita during a protest. She never pressed charges. What the fuck? What's it saying in that? Anita's. Oh, I can just move these. Anita's husband equal dentist with access to muscle. I said that right. What the hell? Muscle relaxant. Victim used to work with the mafia. Her father was linked to the mafia, but it doesn't necessarily mean. And then this one, victim 1 equal burn marks on the body done while alive. His grandson died in a fire. Tears found on victim 2, maybe killer? What was victim 1? Arsonist? Victim 1, usual MO, similar to... Okay. This is all victim 1 shit.
Victim 1 used to work with mafia. Okay. Tears found on victim 2 may be killer. Victim 2 strangled post-mortem. Victim 1 thought to be a suicide at first. Ah, okay. What the hell? Why does the papers change when I do that? That's weird. Lost her company to Group Diamond. What did the second victim have, though? Like, I didn't like learn anything about the victims. I just like hold left click and then I got clues, but like, okay, whatever. Whatevs. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Okay, I thought more, that's why I didn't. You open one eye. For a second there, you hope the evidence board was just a dream too, but you can make it out in the shadows. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. Night 2. What is that? What is this? Who's that? Oh, I'm driving there. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not picking up. 2 women are leaning against the balcony just above your head. They're smoking a joint. Okay. I can listen to the radio? Your finger is poised in front of the car. You're trying to find something to listen to. Listen to the news. You happen to open the nighttime news. In a cold, monotone voice, the anchor talks about Sandman and the latest news killings. The victim was supposedly found with coins in her mouth and throat. You glance at the time and are pretty sure you don't need to hear that kind of information on the radio. As soon as the news is over, you turn the radio off so that the cab is silent again. Yeah, that's good. I got some, What the fuck is this? You pull up in front of a small cafe. The place seems straight out of the 70s. You catch sight of Marco just sneaking inside. It's late, but the place is still open. Who the fuck is Marco? You climb out of the cab and follow him inside. The bar reeks of smoking his band, of course, but some places the customers do as they please. At this time of night, it's either beer or coffee. A man, probably about to go clock in, is eating a ham sandwich. You smile. It's a real trip down memory lane. Reminds you of your father. Hey, psst. You look over at Marco and he heads to his table. You and Marco were old friends until he stole your wife. Fucking what? For a number of reasons that neither one of you feels like getting into, he's owed you one ever since. Look, man, you look like shit. Oh, sorry, look at you, man. You look like shit. And you look pretty drunk. He pretends not to have heard. Sit down. I don't want anyone to notice this. I don't know why it goes gravelly every time. He's shaking, his voice is low, he's clearly uncomfortable. Marco's a nervous type, but tonight's it's different. No worries, we're fine. Well, no, actually we're not. He downs a glass of cheap red wine on the table in front of him. I'm sticking my butt out for you, man. If anyone finds out, I'm out on my ass. Even worse, they may go after me. And they aren't a bunch of softies over there. They're rootless, real sharks. His voice takes on a plaintive note. Well, I don't know how to express that. Why the hell do you even care if that guy worked at Diamond anyhow? Eh? Admit it. You're just doing it to piss me off. That's not true. Every single time, man. It never fails. I find a job and settle down, then you show up and make a mess of everything. He fiddles with the empty glass. That Gene Breton guy you asked about? Yeah, he works for Diamond. I don't know how to say. He works for D. Oh, ding dong. Gene Breton was the Sandman's first victim. Victim. He was assigned to the main office, the handyman. He put the furniture together, changed light bulbs, emptied garage bins. Cans. And then they fired him. I got to look at the memo, but it didn't say much about when and whys. So you just left it at that? Of course. I didn't just leave it at that. Again in a plaintive tones. Me?
walk me walk the straight and narrow? Not on your life. I had to get to the bottom of it and really fuck myself over. You detect a note of urgency in his voice. He's upset, irritable. That brain guy of yours was a pyromaniac. Got caught setting fire to some boxes in the parking lot. It wasn't the first time. They fired him on the spot. So come on, what's this all about? How do you know this guy? The less you know, the better. I can't talk about it. Yeah, right, it's top secret. He stands up all at once, his chair scraping the floor, his hands shaking. This is the last time, man. Don't ask for help again. It's the last time. He storms out of the cafe, the heavy door banging shut behind him. You sit there a while without moving. The bar owner nods over at you. You whistle. What? Hey, buddy. Probably should. Hey, buddy. That pal of yours, he didn't pay. You pay Marco's tab and leave. The cool air sets your mind in motion. So Breton had worked for the Group D. He worked for the GD, and he was a pyromaniac. There's no way that's a coincidence. You climb back into your cab. Your head's still heavy. The hum of the engine brings you out. You still got a long night ahead of you. Phlegm. Okay. Is this the person? I don't need gas yet, so this is just some music, huh? You almost never listen to music in your cab, but you preset 5 stations you like. Pop rock station, sure. A rather crazy bass line jumps out at you. The singer sounds out of breath and meows his way through a song that doesn't seem to have much of a chorus. The drum beat isn't okay. You're just describing the song to me. Okay, I thought I would have heard. Never mind. Let's not do that again, huh? Oh, where'd the person go? Wait, what? How'd he go all the way down there? Excuse me, I'm trying to pick you up. What is this? Oh, it's time. Sure. I need help with a delivery. Accept. The passenger who sinks into the backseat is one of the hordes of cyclists you almost hit at a red light. You always almost hit at red lights. She's a bike courier, the kind who pays no attention to red lights, stop signs, or the right of ways. She gives you a smile. Holy shit, it's flipping freezing out. You smile. Do we know each other from somewhere? I don't think so. I probably just cut you off on my bike or something. Or maybe it was me. Maybe I changed lanes without signaling. You both burst out laughing. She gives you an address. It's for a delivery, but it's too cold. I can't seem to get warm. I forget what her fucking... I don't know what voice I started off with. I'm confused. Warm air fills the car. The young woman nods. Thanks. That's exactly what I'm here for. She closes her eyes as if to enjoy the muffled hum of the heater. I hope you don't mind. There was no way I was going to get back on my bike. I left it behind with my colleagues in front of that restaurant. She sighs. I know it's pretty counterproductive paying for a cab ride to deliver food, but all the warm air, it feels good. How's work going? The young woman is struggling to stay awake. Pretty good, though I had a run-in with one of my colleagues tonight. She falters. He's a real know-it-all, the kind of guy who thinks he's been there, done that. The work itself is pretty good, though. In the winter, we do a lot of business. People stay holed up at home like rabbits. I have to say, I understand them. She yawns. I'm warming up, but I sure am tired all of a sudden. She closes her eyes. Sorry, we're already here. You pull up to an address. Right, back to work. The delivery girl quickly exits the cab, slamming the door behind her. She rings the door of an elegant... A moment later, the door cracks open. The courier hands her client a plastic bag with takeout containers inside. She smiles. The door shuts.
She rushes over to the cab and flings herself into the back seat. Come on, let's get out of here. Fast! She starts the cab. Back to the restaurant, please. I left my bike there. Well, that's that. Your phone chirps. Her phone chirps. Business is picking up, she sighs. But yeah, I think I'm going to wait a little. Check it later. She settles comfortably into the back seat and closes her eyes. Say nothing. You say nothing. 10 seconds later, she falls fast asleep. She's dressed like the dozens of other delivery people you see around. She's in her early 20s, pedals 40 hours a week, probably makes less than you. You couldn't have done a job like that. Solitude, it's not your thing. Strange for a cab driver. Her head bobs, then she snaps back up. Slow down. You slow down and avoid making sharp turns. Young woman in the back seems to be in a deep sleep. You sometimes wonder about those self-driving cars. You love driving, of course, but it would be nice to take a break every now and then. The passenger says something, her voice still slurred by sleep. Are we almost there? We're almost there. Great. That was a nice little nap. Thanks for letting me sleep. Oh, I forgot what her voice is already. I messed up already. I like it multiple times. Thank you. I really knew. Okay, I didn't even say. I clicked before I said anything. She yawns. The truth is, I'm bushed. Sure, I work like a dog and all, but she sighs. Nah, I shouldn't complain. Really, at least I can take it easy on my bike. There's no one to really mess around with me. She lets out a silvery laugh. What the fuck is a silvery laugh? It's very soothing in tone, the laugh of someone you can trust. What, do you really like what you do? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Sure. You don't earn much, and the job is really exhausting, but first of all, I have a killer ass. My dates can't believe it. Guys are really crazy about it. All my girlfriends want to know my secret. Basically, it's a win-win situation. But second, and this is what I really love, I'm my own boss. A faint smile spreads over her face. Well, I do have a boss, actually. My telephone, it's an algorithm. Some guy calls me every now and then and asks me questions, asks me to take on more shifts, but he doesn't grab my ass. He doesn't waylay me in the corridor. He doesn't ask me to be a good little girl and pick up his sandwich. And that makes it all worthwhile. She looks serious as if she had just concluded a long speech. So that, my friend, is why I wouldn't trade in my bike for all the world. Any prospects for the future? No, you're right. Not much as far as prospects go. It's not like I'm going to be made team manager or anything, that's for sure. But it's not all that bad. There are worse jobs around. Silence. I know what you're going to say. I'm being exploited, badly paid, all that. But the worst part is actually the customers. You look at her in surprise. No, I swear it's true. You deliver their dinner because they're worn out after working all day, and they don't even tip you a single euro. Still, they are understanding and all that. They give me articles about all the big bad delivery businesses abusing us, and then they order sushi from the restaurant down the street. Never trust her stomach. She makes a little farting sound with her mouth. Believe me, a bunch of cheapskates. She stops you with a gesture before you can speak. But all that is just for the time being. Promise. I'm putting a little aside, like my father always said. I'm going to open a food truck. Have you ever had takoyaki? That's how I would pronounce it. You pull up to the restaurant. A swarm of bike couriers are waiting for their orders. Yes, sure. Oh, cool. I want it to be the latest thing. It's basically a pretty simple idea. Sell them to people lined up for concerts, movies, plays. She smiles. Anyhow, I'm out of here. There are a lot of starving people in Paris, and we don't want to let them down. She hands you your fare and exits the cab. Thanks again, really. You're a good company. If you ever need a shortcut, just ask. She gives you a last smile, then walks over to her crew. What is this 1 cent tip bullshit? This person looks distressed, so let's go pick them up. Why not? There's a taste in your mouth, iron blood, 2 fingers on your lips. You know everything's fine as you shake your head. Holy shit, this bitch going far. that place, please. You pull up to the local police station to pick up your next passenger. She comes out from under an archway, visibly frightened. She slips into the back seat of the cab and gives you her address. You glance at her in the rearview mirror. Why does she look so crazy? And notice how she is dressed. Everything all right, ma'am? You start the cab. Your passenger eyes you intently, reluctant to speak.
Yes.
You can barely hear her. She points to the car radio.
Could I listen to the radio?
You nod. Yes. Which station?
My wallet was stolen.
Okay. She pauses and fixes her eyes on you. You freeze.
I have money for the fare.
Okay. The passenger senses your surprise.
I just wanted to tell you I could pay.
She looks down. What kind of music?
Excuse me?
The radio. What kind of music should I put on? Rock, classical, rap, news? The woman shakes her head.
No, could you turn to 89.4?
You hold on the button to get to the station. On 89.4, there's nothing but static. Are you sure about that? A hint of a smile plays across her mouth, faint, but a smile even so. She waits a second or two before answering.
Can you hear it?
You lean forward slightly closer to the radio. Behind the sounds of electric sputtering, there is something else, a shifting sound. It sounds like a whale song? Sure.
A whale?
A strange smile flickers across her face.
Yes. Now that you mention it, you're right.
Her voice trails off.
It's the frequency that causes it. It vibrates, it constantly dancing about, pulled by all the incredible forces surrounding us. Most people listen to music, the news. As for me, when I work, I listen to isolated frequencies like these. Get the fuck out of my car, lady. They're broadcasts, but no one hears them. The proof that we exist. What the hell? Okay.
And what do you do for a living?
Math?
She seems mesmerized by the sound of the wavelengths. Are you a teacher?
No, not at all. I do research.
She gives you a sidelong glance. The client suddenly straightens up and points to the radio.
It's beautiful. So incredibly beautiful. Listen.
You listen. You only hear static at first, and then, little by little, like a distant figure, the music takes shape and slips softly into your ears.
Beautiful, isn't it? To me, they were ghosts, and that's why I studied science, and later mathematics. I wanted to know why.
You pull over. She gets the fare ready while you slowly turn up the radio. Beneath the layer of interference, someone is speaking, like the voice of a child.
Thank you.
Oh God, thank goodness. You emerge from the trance and take the fare. Your passenger exits the cab and walks away without another word. You sit there, immersed in the sound of the radio a while longer. It has a soothing effect on you. You start the engine and drive away.
Oh, but you gave me like $9. Hey, thanks, crazy lady. She gave me $9.
Do I need gas? I don't need gas yet. So let's go pick up this man. I think that's a man at least.
$9.
You gonna give me $7? Peter DJ Watson Covello. The door opens and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze, a clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged: the weather, taxes, traffic,
Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. So bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows it? Who knows? It might come in handy. Oh, okay. Your mind wanders. Your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep awake. Asking your passenger. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing on the dial to find a station you like. 80s rock ballad. Too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring. Barely, but you can hear him. Gregorian chant. Mind-numbing. Some slow rap song filled with fake female orgasm noises with the passenger in the car. Not with a passenger in the car. A mathematician being interviewed about a medal he just received. His voice sounds familiar. An ad interrupts a torrent of words and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm but just aren't in the mood. Stop. Wait. What's Peter? What's Peter? Peter's voice is... Stop. You lift your hand from the dial, the music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. My voice said. Say nothing. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent, probably an American. Oh yeah, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles, I bet. The song is coming to an end, and the announcer, in piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. He snickers. Still, I taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94, at a party at the Rex Club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. A kid, no older than 17. I thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. No, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. He sold X. My voice died. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab. Weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger clams up. Keep an eye on the road. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. Oh! She speeds up as she walks by, two men talking loudly. We ran into each other in Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club. Yeah, really little. But it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ motherfucking cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rushes through his pockets as he says, your radio. Can I take a flash? Can it take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. No, only CDs. Nuts! No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats.
Listen to this. It's what I play tonight. It's mine.
He sets his phone to play.
But, people were barely dancing.
A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background.
They were talking. They were talking, taking each other's picture.
Or don't start to dance in this cab.
They barely touch, never kiss anymore.
A perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible.
All that
A purely electronic crescendo plays.
is over.
There's a break in the music. Synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down.
At least
The song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off.
I got people dancing.
The song keeps going for a minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rim of the snoring. The sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the backseat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time lapse. You close your eyes a second. Oh no! Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and you pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee and he wakes with a start.
Shit! Yeah?
We're here, sir.
Ah, yes. Great.
He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare.
Thanks. I hope you liked it.
Silence.
The music. I mean, my music. The song I played you. I should have been in the spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of...
He stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi.
Those whiskeys and originals really screw with my system.
You see him stagger toward his building. It takes him several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. What the fuck? Oh, he gave me $1. Well, at least it's not cents, man. I'm happy with that. There's a lot of people. What the fuck? What the fuck? Stop playing. What the fuck? Oh, I can just go home? I didn't know I could just go home. Also, I didn't know I could move the map. Probably should have paid attention to what the instructions were. Let's go pick up this person. Hervé, maybe? Hey, pal, can you help me out? Oh, okay, I won't do I will do a normal voice this time. The door opens. It's Hervé. I'm assuming Hervé. A homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks a favor for you to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. Hey, buddy. What's up, pup? He has a strange verbal tick that you've never really understood. You start the cab. Your passenger keeps looking over your shoulder, clearly worried. Is everything okay, Hervé? Yeah, sure, no worries. His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just, there's a cop on my tail. Jail. A cop? Has anybody come around asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like from the crime squad? Nah, nobody's been talking to me about you. That guy's been driving me crazy. Asking all these questions, digging up my past. You know what I mean? Digging up your past? Like my old girlfriend and stuff. Where I used to live. Why I left the skelter. At first I thought it was that killer. You know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Were you involved in some of it? Or whatever the fuck I said? Nah, not really. It's just, I saw that killer guy's face. What the fuck? He pauses just enough time for your brain to process the information. Hold on. You actually know what the Sandman looks like? Your passenger gives you a funny smile. I saw him in Profile Mile. What the fuck? He rhymes. I'm just noticing that now. His profile or his face? Profile. But What's the difference? I was like 50 feet away from him, man. I was like sleeping in an alley just across the street from where, well, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt. I couldn't sleep and, you know, I saw him in profile. I'm going to tell you, but it's pretty weird. He was kind of tall, like over 5'8". I'm sorry, 5'8", kind of tall, over 5'8". What the fuck? A funny build too, sort of lanky. He's staring at you. But why do you care, man? I'm just curious, that's all. Yeah, well, if that cop comes around again, you tell him to go fuck off. I'm not going to tell the police anything, not a damn thing. A note of anger has crept back into his voice. Goddamn cops. They're never there when we need them. I sure as hell ain't going to help Yelp. They can go kick sick. He looks away, furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. You don't know what to make of what Hervé just told you. It could be a trick to throw you off the scent, but could he be capable of coming up with such a devious plan? All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat back in. What? Your passenger gives the seat back in front of him a thump. There we go. Hey, stop right here, near. Jesus Christ. You slow down and pull over as soon as you can. Okay, I'm out of here. Is everything all right? Yeah, sure, no worries. Just a little business to take care of. The door opens and closes, and Hervé vanishes into the darkness. You open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette to relieve the pressure, to calm your racing heart. You take a deep breath and then drive away. Oh, motherfuck. Never picking up Hervé ever again. It's nighttime. Shouldn't I go back to home? Back to sleep. Okay, you know more about your clients. Check the Passidex menu for details. I got $69. You paid attention to her. Company cut off. What the fuck? Wait a minute. You met. I lost money? You heard something on. Sure, okay. These are all the things. Peter. I gotta remember his voice. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name, written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information just as Busted promised. You lay them on the table. You look at the new evidence on the table. It'll take you a while to read everything carefully. Steps in the hallway. They stop in front of your door. They move away. You sigh and get to work. Okay. So I just have to hold to investigate. Chris's criminal records. Killer case. Not enough time. No. Oh, I don't have enough time. What the fuck? Yeah. Tears found on victim 3. Maybe killer. That's okay. Nina's husband, dentist. Oh, God. There's so much shit. Victim 3. Newspaper in mouth. Post-mortem. Strangled post-mortem. Killer. What? Hervé's testimony. Oh, it counts for both of them? Source customer. Albatross fire equal millions in insurance money. Jesus. Coins found in mouth. Oh, again. Coins found in mouth again. Huh? The first victim was burned, so I don't know if that's even connected. Chris, escort for secret escorts 75 website. Oh, he's an... Okay. Crime probably... Chris probably seen near crime scene 1. This is so much stuff. What? Oh, end night. No. Oh, okay, I see. That's probably... I should probably... Okay. Well, give me a second. Victim 1's usual MO similar to Albatross Fire. Chris seen near crime scene 3 days before. Oh boy. So victims 2 and 3 are definitely connected. Victim 1 seems weird because that's the only different murder. Because they had the victim 1, what was it? They burn marks on body done while alive, but it doesn't say anything about like being choked or anything. And it had a criminal records. Used to work with a mafia. This lady has nothing. This lady has some stuff. This dude only has like 2 things. Chris is like all over the place. He was seen near crime scene 2 months before. Near crime scene 1. And then 3 days before. So it's like whatever. Victim 1 used to work with the mafia. Okay. So I should get back to my home before my night ends, so that I have more time. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. So I'll probably play one more night, and then I'll end it. You open one eye. Fragments of a dream are still lingering. You're cleaning up your cab and found a credit card with no limit, but the police stopped you before you had the chance to use it. You get up quickly to forget all that, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. What? Oh, that's my dream? That's weird. Let's pick up more people this time. Closer people. Okay, there's that. So 22, okay. Won't need to get gas yet. Oh, this motherfucker's going far away. Okay, what's his voice? I need a man I can trust. Man getting in your cab seems anxious. You've seen these types before. Late for a meeting, late to catch a plane, late getting home. He gives you an address in the 15th. Yep. You recognize him, a former deputy or senator, something like that. He looks at you nervously in the mirror. He's upset about something. Say nothing. He clears his throat.
Excuse me, I was wondering,
Yes?
do people ever leave things in your taxi?
All the time.
All the time. That's good to know.
He pauses and attempts to pull himself together. He looks cramped in his suit.
And what do you do with the things people forget? Do you keep them?
We take them back to the central office and wait for someone to claim them.
Oh shit. I mean, fine. Very good. How civil of you. Good job.
He pauses again. The voice, I've lost it already. Do you need anything?
Well, yes. No. How shall I say? I need to lose something, if you get my drift. I need to lose it in your taxi.
Oh, why?
Sorry. I owe you an explanation. I just got out of a meeting. It was awful.
Sighing to himself, he adds,
Awful. I've always been loyal to the party, you know? I've always followed orders, gotten the job done. My mother was a card-carrying member, my father an elected official, but I just can't do it anymore. I'm gonna leave my briefcase here on the back seat.
Moment goes by, he stares at you.
You might say it was an oversight, you see?
And then what happens?
And then someone will take care of the briefcase. When you drop the taxi off, bring the briefcase to the head office. Someone will come pick it up.
takes a deep breath. This country we live in, it's going to hell in a handbasket. Everyone running it is corrupt. They've sold out. They're thieves. All of them. He slowly lays the briefcase beside him. We have lunch with lobbyists, dinner with bankers. We should burn everything. Start over from scratch. Sometimes I dream we'll all get sick, but be swept away by a political plague. A flu for suits. He pauses, exhales, shakes. I can't bear to see them spend 600 euros on a meal when they just decided to close a hospital that suddenly became too costly to maintain. 6 months ago, we refused to vote for a law that would have prevented the building in Pantin from burning down. Do you remember? 6 months ago, we could have saved 75 people. He stumbles over the next words. The public housing minister, when we presented that bastard with the bill, he burst out laughing. As if people living in those crumbling buildings were just peons. The passenger groans as if in pain and suddenly stops talking. That's it for me. What are you going to do now? I'm going to sleep. Then they'll send me to prison. Or worse, to a far-off ward. Some overseas territory, Guyana or something like that. Guyana? What the fuck? He struggles to swallow. That's what they do to traitors. After that, we'll see. Tomorrow's another day, if you know what I mean. Silence. Stop the car. Act as if everything is normal. You park along the sidewalk. You suddenly notice your client smells terrible. Sour, pungent BO, almost unbearable. He pays his fare and slips you an extra bill. Your compensation. He gets out and walks away quickly without turning back. You open the window to air out the cab. Oh, you gave me $21. Give me $21. Well, I'm like right here, so... Yo, I can pick up a dog. I'm picking up a dog. I'm picking up a dog. He's not going to give me a tip, but I'm picking up that dog. Or cat, whatever that is. Is that it? I can't tell. Is that, what the fuck is that? Is that a cat? You pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab. After a minute or two, to smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into your car. That is a cat. Wait, is that a dog? That's a cat. You jump, startled. A cat has managed to slip into the cab. It's sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you're about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions and slips a paper, a slip of paper falls from his collar. Pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of a map of Paris, the Saint something train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. Are you going somewhere? The cat tilts his head to the side as if to say yes. You want to go to this place? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods his head. No. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. What the hell is going on? You turn around to face the cat. Okay, fine, I'll take you. You let out a sigh. Okay, fine. You start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation. Normal. This is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? You start to laugh. A few minutes go by. You try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither yes or no. No more of a plaintive meow. Are you running away with the one? The cat lets out a long plaintive meow. Another cat? Your owner? Again, a long melancholic meow. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Was she mean to you? The cat seems to be uncertain. She was not around for you? The cat doesn't seem to understand. For instance,
your owner is never home. You're bored? You want to spend more time playing? If cats could roll their eyes, you would have. Does she have other cat? The cat gives you a look of full of disbelief. No, that's not it. You're independent. You like to be alone, right? The cat doesn't seem to feel like talking anymore. He turns his head away and looks at the streets of the window. You're not far now after the next light. You point to a light in the distance. That's Saint Lazare. We'll be there soon. A few yards later, you stop at the drop-off area in the front of the station. The first train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? The cat stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Yeah. If we're going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come to town. Somewhere in the northern west of France. Normandy? Somewhere by the sea, huh? The cat is looking at you and meows. A sharp sound, probably a yes, a very hungry yes. For fish, I guess. You check the time on the dashboard. It's time to go. To get a real customer. You try not to think too much about the situation you're in, and you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. Go on. I'll just start saying the names of cities, and you meow when I hit the right one. You start to list cities in Normandy. The cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg. The cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close? Saint Malo? Still nothing. I've got it. Deauville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden, you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. What the fuck? Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I want to ask you where it came from. You smile and then lean over to pet the cat. What the fuck is in my hand? What the fuck? Was that my hand? That's my hand. That is my hand. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out its shape dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. You get back in the car. You look yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you're allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. Oh, 21 cents. I mean, he gave me $21, so that's pretty good. Yeah, no. I need to get back down here so I can justify going down there. So let's pick up this lady. Hopefully she's going down. And then I gotta get back home before nighttime. So I don't know what time I should get there. Oh, she's not. I'm off to the 6th and my friend to the 17th. Your next passenger gets in and you start driving away from the restaurant. Your passenger turns around trying to catch your friend's eye, the one she left behind on the sidewalk. She sighs a very strange sigh. Anita, wait a minute. No. Wait. I don't know what voices I've done. It's horrible. Just horrible. What is? I was talking about... She realizes she was talking out loud and freezes. There's a short moment of silence. She looks at you closely and decides you must be trustworthy. You've always been a people person, so you see it as a sort of superpower. My friend, what's happening to her is just horrible. She's not doing well. She's in a bad way. She doesn't know what to do anymore. She was telling me about her new idea, her new business plan, but it's obvious she's at the end of her rope. I helped her build a future for her business, and she burst into pieces. Just like that huge blimp, way back when. It's horrible, especially since... Her voice fades out for a second, floats in midair. Yes? She doesn't seem to notice your question. Her eyes remain unfocused for a while. Something crosses her line of vision. She appears to perk up. I don't know why I'm telling you all of this. You try to find something to say, but she continues without paying any attention to you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone you absolutely adore makes one bad decision after another? She doesn't wait for an answer and keeps talking. Well, the woman you saw earlier is just that person for me. She keeps going, using words you're not accustomed to. You hunt for some sort of clue in her pleasant voice. Hey! She suddenly bursts out laughing, more of a sardonic snicker. She had her hands on a gold mine, and she let it all go. All of it. I had no choice but to fire her. I'm not proud of myself, but a company's well-being has to come first. She pauses, apparently out of necessity. She got this crazy idea in her head. She wanted to go back to the original size. Those are the words she used. Original size. You pull into your passenger street. She doesn't notice, keeps talking. How am I supposed to explain that to the stockholders, to the investors who call in, wanting to expand to South America, Asia, Abu Dhabi? You shrug as you pull up in front of her building. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, she pays her fare with bills that look so fresh you'd think they'd been printed the night before. She's about to open the door when she turns to you. Her eyes bore into you like she's examining you. It's strange. I get the feeling I've seen you somewhere before, and I never forget a face. Time grows sluggish. She reaches towards her hip, unbuckles her seatbelt. It's her. Her face relaxes. No, forget it. It's in my head. I probably drank a bit too much this evening. Best of luck for the rest of your shift. A second later, she's outside and the door closes. You start breathing again. You hear the sound of her heels banging on the sidewalk. She walks up to the entrance of her building, turns around, and looks at you. Stay. You don't budge. She stands there watching you for a while. Her eyes give off a vague shimmer in the night. A car flies by somewhere above you. A metal shutter bangs. She eventually goes into her lobby. She doesn't turn on the light. You turn the key in the ignition and notice you are shaking nervously. You leave her street behind. Hey, just give me $1. I need. Oh, no. Don't go to him. No. Shit. No. Wait. No. Go somewhere else. Let's get some gas. And then go home. Where is my home? Okay, I didn't talk to this witness or some shit, whatever. Let's get some gas. You pull over and stop at the gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes. The smell of pee is wafting up from the space between the pumps. It's a self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini mart over there, it must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Must be worth asking a couple questions. You don't quite know why, but Parisian? I think that's how you say it, right? Gas stations are always frightening. You check out your surroundings before getting out of the taxi. You walk into the mini mart. Behind the counter, a student doing his homework lazily raises his head. Hi. I got $2. Wait. I spent money and I didn't make money. A smile shines across your face. You examine the newspaper and magazine covers. Serial killers on the front page of all of them. It's crazy, isn't it? You'd think they'd have caught him by now. The clerk smiles. You recognize the twinkle in his eye. The guy has something to tell you. This guy has something to tell you. Please come back soon. The clerk is still in the middle of his sentence when you leave the shop. Oh. Haha. It's like I'm actually filling up the gas. Sure. Man, I'm going to lose so much money. I'm going to lose so much money. Holy shit. I'm going to lose so much money. Can I go home yet? No. Pick up this person. Out of nowhere, you hear a voice whispering in your ear. What the fuck? What the fuck? A ghost? I picked up a ghost? This is where I died. You brake hard. There's no noise in the cab. No noise outside. Ah, it's a fucking ghost! A silhouette appears on the back of the seat as the cabin features appear one by one as if it was drawn with a paintbrush. So much suffering. You squint, a little boy.
Would you be so kind as to drive me?
Get out. Get the fuck out, ghost. Where?
Very well. Let us drive then.
The boy's silhouette flutters for a moment, then disappears entirely. You hold your breath. On the back seat behind you, the boy slowly reappears. You start driving.
53rd Rue de la Grande. Oh, my friend.
You pause, looking at him inquisitively in the rearview mirror. And what is there in the... He smiles.
There is death in its truest form. You see, at night, the streets fill with spirits of horses. Before my time, they used to be cut to pieces there. They cut their heads right off. Swish!
He seems quite pleased with his performance. Yeah.
There was mud, like pudding.
Excuse me.
Almost. The poorest come to glean a piece of meat or bone to chew on had to trudge through it. Splosh! Scorch!
His silhouette seems to flutter for a second as if it were the sound wave for laughter.
People came for quite far to steal a chunk of meat, a bit of skin. The abandoned carcasses attracted flies. People gathered the larvae to go fishing in the Seine or in Bundy. The flies drew swallows. Folks came on Sundays to shoot rifles at the flocks of birds.
Short pause.
My mother once took me there to show me the gallows. She told me this was where traitors were sent to die. I nodded and was shocked by the stench of the place. I miss my mother so, you know. Do you miss your mother too?
Yes.
Is she dead?
Yes.
Did she ever take you to see a gallows?
He breaks into laughter.
I'm being a bother.
The little ghost starts speaking in a joyful tone once again.
My mother loved taking me for strolls. She pulled me by the arm through all of Paris, stopping in front of a building, a market, a dump. She would say, "See now." I could still hear her voice. "See now. That's how you'll end up if you don't do all of your chores. If you don't learn all your lessons at school. If you don't listen to your father."
Excuse me.
And she usually gave me a smack.
His silhouette flutters as if he were receiving the blow.
Stop here. The horses are angry this evening. Something is getting on their nerves.
He sighs. His presence is making you feel particularly ill at ease.
My mother never understood why I joined the comrades, the commune, the cherries.
His silhouette starts to flutter.
She thought I was being young and stupid.
The fluttering intensifies. You can barely make out the little ghost silhouette.
Barricades, dead horses, hanged.
His silhouette freezes. He looks over at you.
I personally think that I'm lucky to have died for something I believe in rather than to live for nothing.
A shiver runs up your spine.
Like you.
The next minute, the ghost has vanished. His voice still resonates in the cab.
Like you.
You turn the wheel and pull over to collect yourself. You breathe. This little ghost is going to do you in. Motherfucking ghost. Okay. Getting emails. What the hell's going on? Airport. Airport. I don't know what his voice is going to be. Your next passenger is waiting on the sidewalk with an enormous suitcase next to him. You get out of the cab, pick up the suitcase, which must weigh 45 kilos at the very least, and put it in the trunk. You get back in with your passenger close on your heels. The door slams shut. You turn the key in the ignition and look up at your passenger. Charles de Gaulle, right? He nods and you start driving. Still pretty early to be getting on a plane. He must be the type that likes to get there well ahead of time. Japanese, Chinese, you're not sure. You smile. Tourists always have such a magical image of Paris. There's almost no traffic and you're able to drive at a decent speed. Behind you in the rearview mirror, you can see the tip of the Eiffel Tower start to appear. Look who's saying bye. Say nothing. He keeps staring at you with an annoyed expression. He obviously doesn't understand. Yep. Words. His voice is frank with a dose of exhaustion. Yep, more words. Shinji. Shinji. Okay, it's Japanese, you're sure now. Shinji. Shinji. He imitates the sound of a plane taking off. Shinji. 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 You think you may have recognized the name of the airport. Airport? Shinji. 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 Airport. He nods. Shinji. Shinji. He turns away to so vehemently you understand he wants to be left in peace. He wants calm and silence. You hear him mumbling to himself. His voice is deep and heavy. Shinji, 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 Shinji. Takes a short pause to swallow his spit. Shinji, 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 Shin, Shinji, Shinji, Shin, Shinji, Shin. You like Paris? He ignores you and keeps mumbling. Shinji, Shinji. The tone of his voice makes you think he's making a list of all the things he hated. Shinji, 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 Shinji. He mumbles on and on. Shinji. Oh, my ears itchy, bruh. Oh. Shinji. Oh, man, I'm getting so much information about the killer Sandman. Yep. Third time. Okay, you immediately recognize the word. That word? Shinji! Shinji, Shinji, Shinji. First say the list. Shinji! He bursts out laughing. Shinji. Shinji, Shinji, Shinji. Is this more racist than not saying anything? I'm Asian though. It's okay. You don't understand. Some Shinji. Shinji, Shinji, Shin. You get the impression he wants you to repeat what he's saying. Repeat. Shinji, Shinji. Shinji. He nods. Shinji, Shinji, Shinji. Shinji, Shinji. Shinji, Shinji. He falls back into his seat, his eyes closed. He doesn't want to speak to you anymore. You've had passengers who didn't speak any French before, but this one seems furious. Maybe he didn't like Paris. Maybe he prefers Tokyo. You smile. For just a second, you imagine yourself as a taxi driver in Tokyo. Businessmen, well-dressed, high schoolers, those Japanese mobsters. What are they called again? What do you call the Japanese mafia again? He doesn't budge, but lets out a groan. Mafia? Groan. Yes. He recognized the word. Yes, mafia. A minute goes by, he sits up. Shinji, Shinji. Yakuza, that's it. He stares at you. Shinji? Shin. Yakuza, exactly. He starts laughing, slowly at first, then quite loudly. Shinji, Shinji. Shinji. He shuts his eyes again. You keep driving. You think about the movie you saw during your hospital stay. A black American soldier on the run who starts hanging out with some sort of bub who was a huge jazz fan. It was a singular movie, incredible, It made a real impression on you. The title was, no, you can't remember the title. And how could you possibly describe it to your passenger? Impossible. What a shame you can't speak his language. What a shame not to understand him, not to be able to talk to him about it. You sigh. Maybe later, you'll have time to learn Japanese. It's probably hard, not the same alphabet, not the same letters, but then again, your parents could read in Arabic and write in French. So you could too. Yes, later, you'll have time. And then, here you are at the airport. A heap of ramps and tunnels brings you to the drop-off zone. You pull to a stop and your client wakes up. He notices the airport, a few taxis, your own fatigue. He starts talking peacefully in a soft voice. Shinji, 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 Shinji. He shakes his head. Okay. Shinji. He pays his fare with a twinge of shame. You get out of your taxi and help him get his suitcase out of the trunk. It weighs a ton. He thanks you with a sad look of defeat. He grabs onto your sleeve as you try to get back in the car. Shinji. You nod very slowly. No, thank you. He looks you over slowly from head to toe. When he starts speaking again, his voice is monotone and completely void of emotion. Shinji. Something inside you resonates, like you understood what he just said. Shinji, 19. Shinji. He lost someone. His wife, maybe? He looks upset. Shinji. Shinji. He shakes his head. You should have come with someone. Shinji. If only you could understand him. Shinji. He bows when he straightens up. His eyes are misty. You don't know why, but it seems normal to reply. You're welcome. He walks away with his huge suitcase. When he's almost to the doors, he stops and turns around. Shinji! You practically jump. He just said the word Yakuza. Yakuza! He bursts out laughing. He walks into the airport. The sliding glass doors close behind him. You start to realize the airport is waking up all around you. A woman who must have been a Viking in another life is pushing a floor waxer across the tiles in the entryway, just below the heating vents. A fellow driver waves as he's leaving the drop-off zone. A plane, maybe the first one of the day, appears in the sky. You get back into the taxi. For a minute, you rub your freezing hands together, warm them up. Just a few seconds before driving off. Give me $1. I need. So I assume I can go home now. Yeah, okay, let's go. This game's interesting so far, though. I'm enjoying it. Gonna completely forget all the voices, though, for sure. You pull up a newspaper out of your compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. It's a rather enthusiastic article about a bar named Napo. You make note of the information with the interest in your line of work. That kind of thing can always come in handy. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Keep reading. You stop reading and go back to a few pages. You thought you saw something. A badly framed photo in a terse article inform you that a minister is stepping down for personal reasons. She will be replaced by her right-hand man, who also happens to be her husband. Her face is not at all familiar. You don't think you've ever seen her before. You only have a third left to read. Read the whole thing. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at. It's an in-depth article about the albatross 6 months after tragedy. It's all very vague and gives no new information. Even more disturbingly, the tone is quite cynical. Mean even. When the journalist refers to the tenant associations, you shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. You know about your clients. You've met Vincent. You've met, oh yeah, the cat. Boy, my fucking ear is itchy as fuck. Oh my god. I'm making no money. That is the lady! You were perfect with it, Anita. Hey! You met Ludwig. Excuse me.
Now you know where this ghost comes from. You met Shinji. Shinji. Was that it? I think so. Take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Oh, I see. Oh my god, so many clues. Wait, where's their new height? So it is close. He wasn't off. Holy shit, there's so much shit. Bro. Albatross fire pushed victim 4 to sell shares. What is happening here? Albatross criminal act. I'm like nowhere near closer to figuring this out. He only has like 4 things. Excuse me. This is I don't know. These two. It seems like a lady. Maybe. Anita's husband, dentist with access to muscle relaxant. Victims surprised by injection. Be the one fired from group. She fires people. We know that. Albatross fire. Millions in insurance money. She fits the height. She used to work for Camille. Victim 4 changed will 2 days before death. So who is victim 4 though? Camille. Oh, she's the heir to victim 4. Okay. Victim 4 to sell. Push victim 4 to sell shares. Victim 4 changed will 2 days before death. Camille is the heir to victim 4. It seems like these are like 2 different crimes, you know? Okay, let's end the night. The phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. It must be Busset. Pick it up. You pick up. Busset sounds irritated. Oh, I forgot her voice. Wait. What the fuck is her voice? You there? It's like something deep. Yeah. Listen, it's... She pauses. You suddenly hear a ruckus in the background. Probably noise at the station. Busset raises her voice. Anyone got time? Hey, guys, anyone? Fuck. They're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? In a calm and methodical voice, you start giving her the evidence you collected. You start with the first suspect, their connection to the victims, the rumors, then the second suspect, and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Not bad at all. Seriously, you should come give a lesson to the zombies I work with. Long sigh. I have some good news for you. We checked the alibi of one of your suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she's referring to. So it's gotta be someone else. She snickers. You know how lucky you are? I'm doing your job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat. I gotta run. I'll call you in 2-3 days, okay? Excuse me. Understood. Good doggy. Oh, fuck you, bitch. I'll call you in 3 days, and you'd better have what I need to make a proper arrest. The DA has fangs. We're pretty sure he's going to turn into a werewolf at some point. She babbles on for a while. Her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That would explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs up. You hold the hands into your ear for a while. You have just one thing in your mind, sleeping. And forgetting it all. So who'd she say it's not? Yeah, okay, I didn't think it was him. You just seem to be in, wrong place, wrong time.
You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The rest of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches, and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. Your investigation is taking shape, little by little. Who would have thought? If only Busted would give you a little more time. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Right when you're about to fall asleep, something rubs up against your leg. You prop your head up, and just there in the shadows, you see a face. It looks like the combination of the faces of all the suspects. What the fuck? You wake with a start, look quickly around you. There's no one there. You lie back down, feeling restless. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm dying. You open your eyes. Excuse me, I'm dying. Your attention turns to shouting upstairs, the door slamming. Typical. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 4. Okay, we're going to end here because clearly I'm dying. And, yeah, I'm streaming for almost 2 hours now. So hopefully it's saved. I just realized it's called Passedex, like passenger index. What a bunch of dorks. Bunch of dorks made this game. Oh, not continue. Back to menu, I guess. Maybe that'll save it. I don't know. But yeah, that's all. Thank you. Bye. Bye now. Bye.